of single brood chambers mention how it might not be possible to have enough space for the queen to lay in just one box. And I'm going to try and put that to rest here with some numbers. So this is a regular standard depth frame made for a 9 5/8 box, and I did some counting on this sheet of foundation. We have 80 cells wide by 44 cells deep. So that means if you do the math, on one side of one frame, we have 3,520 cells. In a standard single brood chamber, you'll run 10 frames, each having 2 sides, so we have 20 sides. And if you do the math on that, it means we have a total of 70,400 cells on 10 frames in our single box. So the next question is, how many eggs can a queen lay? And while I haven't done any counting firsthand, a good estimate that's commonly heard is 1,500 eggs per day. So 1,500 eggs, and the development period for worker bees in each of these cells is 21 days. So 1,500 per day for 21 days before she could lay in that same cell again. This means that a queen could be occupying 31,500 cells with developing workers. So you can see right away we've got over twice as many cells as is absolutely required by the queen for egg laying. Now this number, 1,500 eggs per day, is definitely variable. So at certain times a year, probably through May and June, she'll be at peak egg laying rate, and it may exceed that, but for other times of the year, later into the summer, her egg laying rate would likely be less than that. But you can tell we've got a lot of room for variance there. But let's just say that on average, a queen might be taking up 50% of the available space in a brood chamber with her egg laying. So what happens to the rest of it? Well, it's my guess that probably about 20 to 25% right off the top would be taken up by honey, and I would hope that another maybe 20% of that space would be taken up by pollen. In an efficient brood chamber, I hope to see a lot of pollen right near the brood and not stored up above in the honey supers. And the other thing that's going to be happening down there is drone brood, which may be accounted for within her 1,500 eggs per day, but drone brood also has a slightly longer development period, so that would account for a bit of extra